set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. We're glad you can join us. We're at the home of the Pacers in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. And, of course, C.J. Miles, not here, but we've seen the team playing well regardless of that fact.
Kevin, I thought he was really an important player for them, undervalued and not given the credit he deserved. That's not to say the trade was a mistake, but I think they'll miss him more than you might expect.
You know, chemistry-wise, I agree with you, Clark, because he was a glue guy. You know, he's a guy that kind of held things together for them in a few areas, and so not having him around might take some getting used to.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. They've got Al-Farouq Aminu, Henderson out there with Damian Lillard. Then there's Davis, and it's Plumlee in at the 5. So the Indiana Pacers able to put the first points up on the board. I'd send it out to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Terry Stotts. DB?
He said a big key for them will be containing Carlos Boozer offensively, adding he's a player who can spread the floor with his jump shot or take you down the block, and it's tough to match his strength inside. Defensively, they'll look to keep length in front of him and limit his offensive rebounding. Sounds like a good game plan, guys. We'll see how they do it.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Clock at 6. Now Henderson. He had 10 points in the win against Minnesota.
Yeah, but the hand in the face. It's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Harris misses.
And if he thinks that's within his range, then you know what? He's got a low basketball IQ.
Yeah, impossible to say what he was thinking there, Greg. I'm not even going to venture to guess.
A lot of times in the first quarter, it will dictate how big a role a player has later on. That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Here's Plumlee.
Right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Plumlee with the screen. And Damian Lillard again.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Pacers trail by 3. Here's Boozer. And Davis sends it back. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. Indiana making some changes. Turner's checked in for Splitter. Hill comes in for Boozer. And George Hill's subbed in for Monte Ellis. Portland also making some changes. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Davis. Barnes comes in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And it's Foy in for Gerald Henderson. Here's Harris. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws. What a night so far for Harris. He already has 8 points and a steal.
It's hard to imagine that he's accounted for over half their points.
Well, you can just look at the box score, and we've been sitting here watching it. I mean, we've seen it with our own 2 eyes. It's for real.
Outside Turner. Hill dishes to Harris. Wants to get to Hill and does. Back to Harris. Terrific design on the pick
That time, Greg.
.105 left to play here in the half. And Foy kicks to Plumlee. And he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points. And, Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
Trailblazers trail by 5. Foy dishes to Richardson. Davis setting the pick for Richardson. No good. So the Pacers will take it the other way.
A chance here to go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to ramp up the speed and make it happen in a hurry.
And it's Harris off the drive. That's good. Now it's a 7-point Indiana lead.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Richardson against Ellis. Barnes passes to Richardson with 1 on the clock. On the three since starting the second half. Harris scored that one for him. His 8th field goal. 8 for 11 on a very accurate night.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
And Lillard kicks to Aminu. And there's the feed to Plumlee. And Splitter pulls it down. Splitter's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Harris outside. Off his leg. And it's being called a kickball. Hill, he's checked in for the Pacers. Hill comes in for Monte Ellis. Lonley's checked in for Portland. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. George passes to Harris. Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper. Trailblazers trail by 6. Lillard dishes to Plumlee. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. And it's 13 points for Mason Plumlee.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
And it's a big key thus far in this game, Clark, because whenever they've gotten the ball in the paint, good things have happened.
Lillard with it, picked up by Harris. Lillard against Harris. Lillard attacking. And Harris, he's in at the point. Splitter is out there with Hill. Then it's Paul George, and it's Ellis in at the 2 spot. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Splitter sets a screen for George. Here's Harris. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
A different look now for Portland. Aminu comes in for Barnes, and it's Henderson for Randy Ford. Here's Lillard. He kicks it to Henderson, and taken away by Ellis. He lobs it up, and out of bounds. We've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Here's Boozer. Basket is good. The assist from Harris.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
Dumping an orchestra.
Here's Harris. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Pacers?
They've knocked down plenty of mid-range jumpers in this one. That's been big for them.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that.
This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia.
And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
Boy, I love the pace and flow that their open court offense has been played with. I mean, it's been humming quietly, but very efficiently.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Harris against Lillard. Harris outside. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Boozer. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. They would have liked it, but Clark, a win nonetheless.
Yeah, and it appeared to me as though the fans gave them the emotional boost they needed down the